Welcome, I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Tonight, federal government to end importation of fuel by 2019, set to roll out new national oil policy for the sector. 2 banks burnt by angry truck drivers following the killing of their colleague, allegedly by a policeman in the Apapa area of Lagos. Senate passes bill aimed at protecting witnesses in criminal cases. And the Kenyan government orders immediate testing of about 500,000 people in the next 21 days after 4 people were confirmed dead from cholera in Nairobi.
On business news tonight, Nigeria Mortgage Refinance Company set to launch second tranche of 20 billion naira bond issue in the capital market this quarter.
On sports news tonight, federal government to seek an amendment of the NBC code so brands can sponsor the Nigeria Professional Football League.
We begin tonight with efforts by the federal government to make good its promise to stop importation of fuel by 2019 with the approval of a new national oil policy by the Federal Executive Council. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Mr. Bakassi, told State House correspondents that the policy is geared towards reorganization of the NNPC for greater efficiency and accountability. This is a follow-up to the national gas policy, which was considered 3 weeks ago to ensure Nigeria moves from an oil to gas-producing nation. Our correspondent Gloria Umezuke reports.
Talks about how to end fuel importation by 2019 has been ongoing for years now, backed by actual promises by the Minister of State for Petroleum to effectively put an end to this business. After the Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the Minister of State for Petroleum told State House correspondents that a new policy approved by the Council will help strengthen operations in the sector.
Ensuring that we are working seriously to exit importation of petroleum products in 2019. It captured the fact of the cash call changes that we've done, which is enabling the sector to fund itself substantially through incremental volumes. It captured reorganizations in NNPC that need to take place and in the oil sector to enable efficiency and produce a lot of accountability. It captured issues related to Niger Delta and what we needed to do as a government to focus on consistency and stability in the sector to ensure that oil production continues. There's a lot of uncertainty in terms of the pricing regime of crude today. We're pushing that we're now beginning to look at a refinery or processing type environment and move away from exporting crude as it were.
The Council also approved the National Social Protection Policy, which seeks to provide social justice and inclusive growth for Nigerians and possibly end poverty.
The federal government since 2006 has started the social investment programs, and each of these programs that have been rolled out, including the homegrown school feeding program, the Empower program, the JEEP, as well as the conditional cash transfers, were drawn from this policy, which was in a draft form at this time. So what we have done is to submit to Council today, and Council approved a policy that is largely aspirational, but seeks to ensure that every Nigerian citizen has at least the minimum of what is required in terms of human development and human protection.
Meanwhile, Council members have crystallized the national employment policy according to the Minister of Labour, which is perceived as good news for Nigerians. Hopefully, the implementation of this policy by the government will squarely address the issue of unemployment. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television.
Apapa, the port city of Lagos, was almost shut down today following the killing of a trailer driver allegedly shot by a policeman attached to a bank in the area. An eyewitness account has it that the angry colleagues of the dead driver set the bank where the policeman worked on fire after the management refused to release the policeman to them. The inferno was said to have spread to a second bank nearby, forcing it, as well as other banks in the area, to evacuate their staff. The shooting of the driver reportedly occurred following an argument over the indiscriminate parking of trailers in front of the bank. The Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owusheni, was said to have mobilized security personnel to the scene of the incident.
A Apapa, the port city of Lagos, plunged into protest by trailer drivers, and after over 2 hours of massive destruction, 2 new generation banks are set ablaze with many properties destroyed. This protest was triggered by the alleged killing of one of their own by a police officer guarding one of the banks. The officer was reportedly angry with the trailer drivers who allegedly parked indiscriminately, obstructing traffic and also preventing bank customers from having easy access to transact their businesses. An argument ensued and the policeman opened fire.
There's one mobile man that came to this place that when the guy is eating, because the guy is eating, before the spirit of devil just entered the policeman and cocked the gun and shot the guy at the head.
This appears to be a case of extrajudicial killing, and the trailer drivers are calling for an investigation into the situation.
We tanker drivers, we don't know anything concerning this matter, but what we learned that police shot a container driver and the people retaliate. We have shut down the tank farm. The tank farm has been shut down because of the accident.
You see, the problem we are having here is from inside AP Mola. You understand me? For trucks to go in to drop container is a problem. Even the container that is inside that they have loaded could not be able to come out. Some people have loaded since on Sunday. For them to come out, no way. And we continue to be paying demurrage every day.
Apapa has the highest location of seaports in Lagos, and this explains why there is usually huge commercial activities, including the movement of goods by the trailer drivers. This incident calls for investigation in order to address the issues that may have resulted in these violent reactions that led to the burning of 2 banks, a motorcycle, and other properties.
The acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has ordered further security reinforcements in Kaduna State following the communal clashes that resulted in the loss of lives in Kajuru local government area of the state. Professor Osinbajo, in a statement, commiserates with families of the victims, the government and people of the state, and commends the prompt response by the state government and security agencies. The acting president says, quote, "We will not relent and won't be deterred in our pursuit of securing the lives and property of all Nigerians everywhere and in every part of this nation. In the end, we will not only secure the peace all around, but we shall enforce justice for the victims," end of quote. He says Nigerians in southern Kaduna and everywhere in the country have a right to live in peace, and the federal government considers this its sacred duty. Meanwhile, the death toll in the violence that broke out in Kajuru, Kaduna State is said to have risen to 40. Our correspondent in the state who visited the village reports that about 400 persons have been displaced as a result of the clashes. The Commissioner of Police, who is in the community to assess the situation, says the problems between the 2 ethnic groups are issues that could have been resolved through dialogue.
The Police High Command, under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Idris, is so worried that this incident is occurring at a particular place that has known peace. And the level of casualty was not acceptable too. And he intends to hear first-hand information. We are here on patrol, but this is the first time I'm seeing the chairman because we want to get his own side of the story, and we've spoken, and I think we all agreed on one thing, on the need for people to accommodate themselves and live together. And most of the victims that were injured have been moved to better hospitals for treatment. And one worrisome thing that we are witnessing is the exodus of the people, especially from these settlements that are located in the deep forest, and we want to discourage it because it's creating more tension. And for indication, we are convinced and we pray that peace will be restored.
To security matters elsewhere, officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and security agencies say they have found no evidence to confirm reports that 97 Nigerians were allegedly killed by Cameroon security officials on July the 5th. Appearing before the House of Representatives Committee on Foreign Affairs, officials of the ministry say the figure reported appears to be that of Nigerians that lost their lives in previous incidents in Cameroon since 2008. Our correspondent Larry Lasisi reports.
Have done to ensure that
the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, representatives of a variety of security agencies and other invited guests are before the House of Representatives Committee on Foreign Affairs. The committee is investigating the alleged killings of some Nigerians in the Bakassi by Cameroonian security officials.
Based on this premise,
the chairman of the House Committee sets the stage for the investigation.
While in the print and electronic media, there were stories about the killings of 97 Nigerians, that it was imperative that we keep, as we would say in Parliament, our gunpowder dry until we had heard from you and we had determined what the veracity, one, of the stories, what position Nigeria was going to take moving forward.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says from its investigations, Nigerians living in the Bakassi area were told to pay new taxes and were threatened if they refused to pay.
Out of panic, the inhabitants of the community that complied with the new deals fled their homes and headed for Ikan-Cheti, Nigeria, on the 9th or 4th July. It was while they were on their way that some of them reportedly drowned. Honorable members, most importantly, and according to our mission, the deaths recorded appear not to have been orchestrated by the gendarmes as reported. Moreover, the 27 deaths reported was also, from our own mission account, an accumulation of figures of 4 Nigerians that have lost their lives in previous incidents in the Bakassi area since 2008.
However, the security agencies say they were unable to confirm the killings.
But so far, like I said, we've not gotten any confirmation that such killing took place.
The report of alleged eviction and killing of Nigerians in the Bakassi Peninsula by Cameroonian gendarmes is doubtful and thus demand careful handling. It is believed that the arrival of the detainees and immediate protest could have been stage-managed for political reasons.
For a former senator from the area, steps must be taken to protect the people of the Bakassi.
Nigeria needs to put its acts together. The international community that coerced Nigeria into signing a Green Tree Agreement on the basis of a non-existent Anglo-German treaty of 1913 needs to find its voice and remove the people that are in the refugee camps in Bakassi and find permanent places for them.
The committee is expected to consider its findings from this sitting and profile some recommendations that will guide the House and indeed the country on this matter. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
To legal matters now, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has ordered the interim forfeiture of an estate in Banana Island, Lagos, and the sum of $37.5 million, that's approximately 13.5 billion naira, alleged to have been fraudulently siphoned by a former Minister of Petroleum, Dizani Alison Madueke. Presiding Justice Chuka Obiozo made the forfeiture order after listening to an ex parte application brought by the head of legal of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The court also directed the Commission to publish the order in the newspapers so that any interested party who does not want the money to be permanently forfeited to the federal government could appear in court within 14 days. Further proceedings have been fixed for August the 7th, 2017. In part 2, after the break, Channels Media Group unveils Academy in the nation's capital, Abuja, for the training of journalists in Nigeria, the first of such by a private television station. That's in a moment. Stay with us.